Hello legends, back with the Rexy today, and today the performance upgrades continue. It's time to install a cold air intake. This is a Process West cold air intake system that I picked up used on Marketplace, and it's the 76mm diameter one. These also come in a 72. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you get, as long as you're not going for massive power. If you are going for massive power, obviously get the 76, but the 72 will do for modest power upgrades that I'm working on here. So this video is going to be an install DIY video on how to put one of these onto an 08 to 14 G3 WRX. Not much to it, this is a very simple kit, but before you get started, word of warning, if you bought it used like I have and saved yourself hundreds of dollars, then make sure you've got the whole kit. You've got everything, every nut and bolt, every clamp, everything you need to put this on. And the best way to do that is email the guys at Process West. Head to their website. On that website you will find an email address. Email them and ask for the install instructions. That instruction sheet will show you all the bits that should be included in this kit. Then throw the instructions away because you're not going to need it. All you need is this video. So to get started, I'm going to show you every tool you're going to need to use to put this on.
Okay, have a handheld socket extension like this, which will help with your worm drive clamps. Have a 7 and an 8mm socket to undo those worm drive clamps. Also a 10mm socket to undo some bolts. Have a ratchet ready, a long extension for that ratchet. Have a work light for those dark areas. A clip remover tool to remove some plastic clips. A 10mm spanner. A screwdriver. Some lubricant. And of course some cut-proof work gloves so that you don't cut up your hands. I sell these, so check out the link below.
Okay, so if you've got your tools ready, it's time to get started. So the first thing you're going to need to do is jack up your car. You can either put it on ramps like I have here or on jack stands, whatever you've got, doesn't matter. The reason you're going to need to do that is the air filter goes into the front guard. So you're going to need to have access from underneath to be able to put that on. Alright, so once you've got that, you're good to get going. Okay, so to start with, we're going to have to remove the air ducting, usually held in by two clips in the front here. So just pop these off. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Next, you've got a MAF sensor up here, so just unplug that and move the wiring out of the way for now. Now we're going to remove this air box. And to do that, you're going to have a mounting bolt just in there, so we're going to undo that. So that's a 10mm. So with that bolt out of the way, come and follow the tube back here and remove this worm drive clamp with an 8mm socket. Uncouple these hoses, so these are your coolant lines, and there will be a couple more down here. And now we've got an extra 10mm bolt just down here. Okay, with that bolt loose as well, just undo the clips. Loosen this worm drive clamp as well. Now, see this wiring harness over here? You just unclip it from here. One of my clips is broken, and from here as well. So once you've got it loose like that, take this bracket and feed it in. So there will be two mounting holes, one there and one there. So they go onto this and this mounting hole here. Now when you feed it in, there's a tab here that needs to slide underneath the sheet metal like that, and now everything should line up. Now if it doesn't, you might get this bracket that's in the way. This bracket right here. Now this bracket is for your old air box, so it's two 10mm, and take that off. And now you can slide this in, remembering that this tab goes underneath the sheet metal. There we go. Now take two M6 nuts, which should have been supplied with your kit. If not, they are M6. You should be able to get them at a hardware store. And just feed them through here. Okay, So now we have to go underneath. So underneath the car, just here, is where your new air intake will sit. Now do what you got to do. It's usually held on by a bunch of plastic clips and bolts. In my case, it's had some action, so it's fairly broken. But I just got to undo this bolt. And a couple more here. And the whole thing should just slide down and you'll have enough room now. So in here, before we fit the airbox, I'm just going to do up a couple of these nuts. So remember how you unclipped this wiring harness? So there is your bolt. So you're going to put an M6 nut onto the end of that. There we go. So just tighten that up. And don't forget about your other nut all the way up here. Can't quite show it to you, but basically it's the other end of this. So tighten up those two captive nuts, the M6 nuts, and then take your wiring harness and clip it into the tabs provided. So with everything tightened up and clipped in, it's time to put your air filter on. This air intake comes with a large K&N air filter. So what we're going to do is put one of the large clamps onto the end here. I'm going to take a little bit of silicone spray. I'm just going to lube this up so it goes on easy. And just feed it through and attach it. Line up your worm clamp so you can reach it. Tighten her up. Beautiful. Reattach your cover. So now that everything is buttoned up underneath, it's time to put the top hosing on. Now with this pipe work, this is how it goes. The Process West logo should face forwards, and you're going to put the short silicone hose on this end and the longer silicone hose down that end. So take your longer hose and attach it to the pipe. Make sure that both worm clamps are on there. And again, with both worm clamps on, take your shorter hose and attach it to this end. Feed this through, line everything up, hose clamps on. Okay, if you bought a new kit, chances are this airflow sensor will not be attached to your pipework here. So on your factory airbox, this is where your airflow sensor is. So what you're going to need to do is undo these two screws and remove this, and then slide it into here. Now, the mounting holes for this pipe from Process West are M4 screws. They will not match these two screws over here. So if you don't have these two screws and you need to attach this airflow sensor, get yourself two M4 screws before you start. But essentially, all you got to do is undo this, put it on there, screw it down. Obviously, I don't have to do that because I bought this kit used and the airflow sensor is already attached to it. So then you find your plug for your airflow sensor. You plug it in, make sure everything clears, and you're done. So there you go guys, as you can see, not a very hard job at all. That's how you install a Process West air intake on a G3 WRX. I've shown you every step required, including all the tools, so I hope this helps you out. One word of warning, now that your car is getting a lot more air, so it's gonna run quite lean until you get this thing retuned. And for that specific reason, I've got the factory airbox here, and I am actually going to put this factory airbox back on this car for now, because I've got another week or so before this car is going to end up on a dyno for a tune. So yes, I've completely wasted my time today. Only did it to help you guys out so you can see how to put an air intake from Process West on a G3 WRX. I'm going to take a few simple hand tools with me to the tune-up, and in the car park I'll put this thing back on. So I hope that was helpful for you. I've got a few more little videos coming on this, including how to install a fuel pump, an AEM fuel pump on the car. So if you want to check that out in the future, make sure you subscribe so that you'll be notified when that video comes out. And of course, then after that, the tune video will be coming out. So if you want to see how much power this thing will make, then yeah, make sure you subscribe to see if we get a nice power hike, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I've got everything crossed, that nothing bad happens. But all in all, a fairly simple process today. I hope this video helps you out, and if you want to put one of these air intakes on your car, then go ahead and try this at home. Enough chit chat from me. I'll catch you next time.